We have a lot of weapons. If we're being honest about Caleb Williams, he completely disappointed last year, and he completely underachieved, especially compared to his peers. Jaden Daniels took the Commanders to the NFC Championship game. Second-round pick, Heisman winner as well, just like Caleb Williams. Drake May showed some promise, didn't accomplish as much as it pertains to winning and losing. But Bo Nix with the Broncos took his team to the playoffs, showed a lot of offensive poise and promise. Meanwhile, the number one overall pick, Caleb Williams, led a lot to be desired if we're just being honest and being frank. Chase, I want to talk to you. You're the quarterback. You played for the Chicago Bears at quarterback. Obviously, Caleb Williams now a quarterback for the Bears. Is all of the pressure now on Caleb Williams given all the offensive additions in the offseason?
No, absolutely not. All the pressure? No. That's a lot of pressure if all the pressure is. Look, really there's 4 quarterbacks in the league that has all the pressure on them to win games when they must eat it, right? It's Patty, Lamar, Josh. Who's the other? Joe. Okay? Those are the 4 guys I think have all the pressure. Now, when you look at the situation in Chicago specifically, there's a reason that the Chicago Bears brought Ben Johnson in, and that reason is to take full control, not only offensively, but defensively. The Chicago Bears have never paid a head coach this amount of money, and they've never given this head coach this amount of control because they're tired of losing. They're tired of being in the dumps. When you watch Caleb Williams, okay, that's the number one thing last year. He looked like he had no idea at times what he was doing. At other times, and it was few and far between, he looked really good, right? But when you really watch it, he wasn't playing in a true offense that fit him well. The number one thing for Ben Johnson to come in here as the Chicago Bears head coach and play caller is to make the quarterback feel comfortable. He's done that, not only with the draft. You take Colston Loveland, you take Luther Burden, and you take an offensive tackle with the first 3 picks. The Chicago Bears are trying to change from a defensive-minded franchise to an offensive-minded franchise. Now, with that, yes, of course there's pressure for Caleb Williams to go out there, but he's going to play within a scheme like Ben Johnson's where it's under center, it's play action, there's jet sweep left, there's motion right. In fact, I think it takes the pressure off of Caleb Williams to not go out there and have to make every single tight window throw. Because if you watch Jared Goff in this offense last year, stuff was open. Now, Jared Goff played really well at times, but they had a 2-headed monster running back. They have the weapons around Caleb to take the pressure off of him. Sure, Caleb wants to play well. Sure, there's going to be outside pressure. I think this move actually takes more pressure off of Caleb Williams than it goes on.
I love this show because I can see the exact same thing as Chase and come to a completely different conclusion.
True.
I think all of the pressure is on Caleb Williams. What was the weakness? What were the excuses Caleb Williams had last year? Let's start with this, viewers. He was a rookie. He's a rookie. Shady McCoy, he doesn't judge rookies. I do to some degree, especially if you're the number 1 overall pick. But he was a rookie. He's no longer a rookie. That's out the window. He had a bad offensive line. They have 3 to 4 new starting offensive linemen. Keep in mind, there's only 5 starting offensive linemen. You got a new center from the Falcons. You got a new guard from the Chiefs. You got another new guard from the Rams. And you drafted a second-round pick tackle. So you got 3 to 4 new starting offensive linemen. Okay, but Acho, Keenan Allen was hurt, man. He needed some more help at wide receiver. Okay, so you got a first-round talent. Chase knows all too well. Luther Burden's out of Missouri, who fell to the second round. Okay, come on, Acho, but they don't have a tight end, a quarterback's best friend, you could suggest. You draft a first-round pick at tight end who many people suggest wasn't even necessarily the most talented tight end, but he fits the scheme better in Colston Loveland out of Michigan. I went back and watched his game trying to figure out why did they draft Loveland instead of Tyler Warren. That's the why. He fits the scheme better. He's like Laporta. Okay, what was the last excuse? They didn't have an offensive mind, man. Matt Eberflus was a head coach, former linebacker coach turned defensive coordinator turned head coach. Yeah. You get the most brilliant offensive up-and-coming mind in the game in Ben Johnson. There are no more excuses. If the Bears are not good this year, particularly on offense, it is because of Caleb Williams. It's not because of Ben Johnson. It's not because of the offensive line. It's not because of wide receiver. It's not because of DeAndre Swift at running back. It is exclusively because of the quarterback. How much more help can you need? Last year, we went out there and we drafted a first-round pick in Roma Dunze. This year, we went out there and we drafted a first-round tight end in Colston Loveland. This year, we went out and we drafted a first-round caliber receiver in Luther Burdens. This year, we went out and we acquired Joe Tooney, who's won 4 Super Bowls in his career at offensive guard. We got Jonah Jackson, who's won a Super Bowl at offensive guard. We drafted an Atlanta Falcons, Drew Dowman, at center. What more do you want, Caleb Williams? What else can we do for you? I don't think they can do anything else. If they fall short, it's on the queue.
Yeah. No, this is a really good conversation. And, you know, it's crazy, man. The quarterbacks are always protecting the quarterbacks.
Ain't nothing to protect them.
All of the pressure
That's
is on
y'all are wild
Caleb.
for
Listen
saying
to
that,
me.
bro.
Is on Caleb Williams if they don't want to be last in the division.
It's a good division.
All the pressure's on them. And that is why it's a really good division with really good quarterbacks that are going to win games because their quarterbacks are going to play good football too. The Detroit Lions is not in back-to-back NFC Championship without Jared Goff playing at a high level. And if Jared Goff plays at a high level in the NFC Championship, they in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Or going to the NFC Championship again to see the Eagles.
Yes, sir.
If he plays at a high level. All the pressure's on Caleb Williams. They did everything this offseason to make sure he can have success. Starting with, you're not going to have to run for your life.
Yeah.
You have a running game. You know what? We're going to get you a first-round tight end. Then we're going to get you a first-round talent at receiver to go to other first-round talents you already got out there with DJ Moore and Roma Doomsday. You have everything you need. But if the Bears are going to have any success, and I mean not being last in this division, having a chance to make it to the playoffs, it's going to be because of Caleb Williams playing at a high level. Whether you like it or not, quarterbacks get all the praise when you win.
Yeah.
And they
Say it again.
gonna get all the pressure and all the boos
Blame.
and all the blame when you lose.
So,
Who was the best player on the Minnesota Vikings last year? Jay Jettis?
Sam Darnold.
No, sir.
Yes. Jay Jettis. Yes.
And every
course.
time after the podium, it was Sam Darnold talking. Who was the best player on the Eagles? Saquon Barkley played out of his mind. Who was at the podium? The
Taylor.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Win or lose, the pressure is on Caleb Williams. And another thing, we got to stop talking about Caleb Williams like he's regular. You don't go number 1 overall and we want you to be regular. You go 4th, 5th, 6th round to be regular.
Yeah,
if you
fair.
turn out to be regular, cool. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, my man that just went to the Tennessee Titans, we not bringing you in here to be regular, dog. We would have took you in the 4th, 5th round if we wanted you to be regular. We got to stop talking about this dude like he's regular. This dude's a superstar. He showed us he's a superstar. He had moments last year to where we like, Chase, cutting to the chase, broke it down. Lord have mercy, look at these. Like,
Good play.
we need that, more consistent. If you don't want to be in last with Jordan Love, Jared Goff, and the Minnesota Vikings,
Yeah.
the young bull got a lot of pressure on
It's
him.
the best division in football, and that's why I love the show, because you guys are talking about external pressure. Like what the media puts on, what his teammates may put on him, right? What his coaching staff might put. I'm talking from an internal pressure mindset, from what Caleb Williams is feeling, the way a quarterback thinks. When you feel like you let your team down, of course, there's this pressure. There's this internal pressure, like, I got to go out there. I got to press. I got to make throws. And that showed up in his game last year. And when you really break it down, he was forcing balls. Well, maybe he didn't do it. And then at the end of the year, he didn't throw a lot of interceptions because he wasn't letting the ball go because he was too scared of throwing interceptions. Like, so when you have a guy like Ben Johnson come in, I'm just telling you, as an offensive-minded guru, or at least what we're saying, when you're a quarterback, you don't feel like you have to press anymore. You see from the outside and from the inside that the Chicago Bears are putting everything around you for your success. Yes, you have to go out there and win, but you don't have to win the game every single snap. And at times last year, he played like he had to make the throw every single snap. Ben Johnson will be like, hey, a check down's fine.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually going to get coached and developed for a first time ever. We all know that quarterbacks, it's hit or miss in first round. Yes, Caleb Williams was anointed as generational, this, that, and another. He had a welcome to the NFL moment all of last year. He was sacked a ton. We all know it's about system and fit. Right now, Caleb Williams has the system, and he has the fit in this offense to be super successful.
Yeah, all that's cool. But why were the Chicago Bears as bad as they were last year? Because defense played well.
Play cool.
Defense played well, yeah.
The reason why they were bad is because they had a rookie quarterback that came in there and did not play like the Bo Nixes, did not play like the Drake Mays, did not play like the Jaden Daniels. He did not play at a high level. That's why they were bad. We're not telling you got to make every throw, every single play, and throw a touchdown. What we are saying is the pressure's on you because we seen your receivers walking off the field because they thought you was that bad last year. No, I'm saying we seen the emotion of the pass catchers, like, what's going on with our quarterback? We're frustrated. Caleb Williams this year, with all these weapons, he has to get better and he has to be the game changer. That's why we drafted you number 1 overall.
And that's why I don't think you can say all the pressure on the quarterback, because don't you think as a player on the Chicago Bears, because they are loaded, roster offensively,
Loaded.
you would say they should be a top 5, top 6 offense. don't you think some of the pressure falls on those players to step up their game to help the rookie quarterback from pressing? That's where I'm coming from.
The rookie quarterback,
Second year now. Yeah.
second year now,
I said rookie.
has to be the best player on the Chicago Bears.
I
If he
vehemently disagree.
is not the but being the best player on the Bears does not mean you got to throw a touchdown every play. But when the game's on the line, we need you to make the throws. When Jordan Love's scoring touchdowns, we need you to score touchdowns. When Jared Goff's scoring touchdowns, we need you. You have to be the best player on the field.
Because he should be the most talented, obviously.
There's a difference. There's a difference. I feel like at times he doesn't always have. That's how these young bucks, they start pressing. When you think, I got to be the best player on the field. I get that. And eventually that will come with it. He's nowhere near that right now.
I'm not saying he is, but if they want to have some success, he better be.
And system and fit comes back to it. Like, it's hard to explain to the viewers how much an offensive system like Ben Johnson's going to help the kid. I feel like Ben Johnson's got to be the best player. I feel like the pressure's on Ben Johnson. Yes, of course, Caleb Williams, you're the number one. You got to play well. There's going to be some pressure at times. But I think where he got in trouble, he felt like he needed to be the best player on the field at all times last year rather than be a point guard, which is Ben Johnson's offense. Hey, just make a simple hitch route throw. Don't throw it into cover two.
But that's like about being the best player, though.
Well, mentally, physically, all this stuff. I'm just saying, at times, I do not think he has to be the best player on the field at all times.
I played with some of the greatest quarterbacks in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. And being the best player on the field is they in cover three. Ball is out. That's being the best player on the
not
field.
Taking a sack.
Caleb did not show us that consistently. And listen, I ain't about being super hard on the young boy because he's going into year two, but if he's not the best player on the field, who's going to be the best player on the field?
Receivers, linemen, running
backs.
Problem
is,
and how, I'm just saying the amount of pressure from the outside that we're putting on there, like I've been with star players like Drew Brees, like other people like that. Yeah, they were the best player on the field, but when they were their best, they were, and I get what you're saying, like, just be a developer of football. All I know is Caleb has to get his game developed more than just like scrambling around.
It's year two.
Yeah.
We know, we know he has to develop.
That's the thing that I want to see. So I don't think he needs to, at the start of the year, be the best player on the field for the Chicago Bears.
Hey, well, what up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.